To all my black entrepreneurs, we gotta do better, y'all. So tune in to the Entreprenubians Podcast, where we help build better black businesses.
Hey.
What up?
Welcome to another episode of the Entreprenubians Podcast. I'm your girl, Tiffany Nicole, with my co-host, Trace. What's up, Trace?
Yeah. What's up, fellas?
Oh.
And ladies?
Only fellas. Oh, you still be out here. You the only fellas. So who do we have?
Listen.
Come on.
Listen, we have the wonderful Miss Crystal Evans from Money Talks Edu.
Thank you guys.
In the building.
Yes, 2022. We are in the building.
Yes. So we've been friends for a while, and I'll be stalking you on the gram. Like, this girl is doing everything with everybody all the time.
Right.
Yes,
ma'am. But really, I want you to really dive into who Crystal Evans is and how you got started in Money Talks Edu.
Yes, because we go back a long time. So we know who you are.
Yes.
But please, and it took a long time because Crystal got a lot going on, y'all. Please,
I
y'all don't even understand.
I do.
This is an entrepreneur by definition.
Yes.
Or should I say an entreprenubian?
Yes.
Entreprenubian.
But anyway.
I will take that with my crayon.
Yes, let's get to it.
So, my name's Crystal. Some people know me as Crystal. I am a little behind that. But I'm from Philly, born and raised. My mom and dad had a clothing store. So I've been in business all my life.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, since I was a kid. So I've been hustling.
In Philly?
In Philadelphia, 2828 West Dryde Avenue. We had a clothing store called A Touch of Velvet.
I heard of that.
My stepdad, he used to go to Canal Street, and it's crazy because I'm working in New York and I take Canal Street to get to Brooklyn now. And it's like I'm going through Canal Street, and just reminded me of like how he used to buy clothing and jewelry. So like I've been playing dress up, you know, since a little girl, but I also enjoy dressing people up and selling.
Yes.
So I was able to, I've been telling women they look beautiful and pretty and stuff for a long time, and telling them we only got a couple more of those left, but we got a case in the back.
So you were bred for this. You knew what was going on.
Yeah. So I know how to upsell you.
As you should.
Pay down on it.
This is what entrepreneurs do.
Yeah, so I've been doing it all my life. So it's like when you're around hustlers all your life and you see people, you know, that do good business and bad business, you can take a little bit of the both and perfect it. So, you know, when I met you guys, it was, you know, it's been a while, but like just in my journey, you know, I went to school for business. I have an associate's degree in accounting. I've taken some courses at Wharton. I'm taking a course at Harvard now.
Sheesh.
I'm like working to build the community up, not just myself, but the community.
Yes.
So, it's in my heart to do business, but if I'm gonna do business, I want to do good business and do it for my city.
Yes.
So that's just where it is for me. When you say an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur. I deal with corporations, CEOs, and like I told you earlier, I'm gonna call the United States Coast Guard. I'm calling the soldiers, the armies. We need help. We need people to get some jobs.
Yes.
So it's a lot of money out here to be had and to be gotten, but a lot of people just need some guidance. So that's where I'm at right now.
So talk to us about Money Talks Edu and really go in depth and explain it. Break it down for people who don't know and make it familiar for everybody.
All right, so I'm going to tell you how I got into Money Talks Edu. So as I explained earlier, I have a cleaning service. It's called Bubbles LLC. I've worked with TJ Maxx's, Marshalls, Home Goods, the United States Coast Guard. I've ran the tri-state doing flooring care to janitorial care.
Nice.
I've been doing eco-friendly cleaning and working with EPA products for a very long time. Always just trying to like be cognizant of the environment, people, community. So like that's what Bubbles is about. But Bubbles led me to go into the White House in 2013. And when I went to 2013, I was employing men and women from Philly and New Jersey and working my way to New York. But before I made that expansion, I realized that I was hiring people. Like I was low income individuals, citizens re-entering into the public. And it was a lot. So I'm trying to help people out. Meanwhile, while I'm trying to help them out, you know, I'm sacrificing a lot. I'm paying them. I'm trying to give them a livable wage. I've been advocating for a livable wage since 2012. You hear a lot of politicians talking about a livable wage right now. You know, $7.25 is not enough to be making right now.
No, it's not.
So it's not enough. We know that. But some people, they're not professionally developed so that they can afford to get a higher paying job, or they just need a little more development. So I did OSHA training. I did flagger training for people. I've always been big into workforce development and building people up. But again, like I said, before I got to that expansion, I realized like the people I was hiring, they wanted to drink. They wanted to get high.
You sound surprised.
Right?
I'm like,
That's not all they wanted to do.
No. And then they wanted to call me on Monday talking about, can they borrow?
No.
Not on my time.
Borrow for more drinks. That's what they want to borrow for.
You come to work. Hold on. I've had people come to work and hide weed in the trash can. Come to work and like smell like the bar, and then tell me that they don't have car fare for their transportation. So a lot of people just didn't have their priorities together. And thank God I got past that, and I wound up getting some quality people who really understood what I was trying to do for them, and they've been able to like buy vacation homes, and take their families on trips to Disney, like things that they couldn't do before. So shout out to Joe and Julia Crop, because they definitely are like a godsend. Like if you want to put the work in, you want to put the work in with people that's going to understand the value of it and do right by it. I didn't want to deal with people who weren't really going to be productive and try to improve their lives and their livelihood through what I was doing. So with that being said, financial literacy was like, for me, I was like, why don't they know what to do with their money? Why aren't they trying to do better with their money? Right. And that led me to like looking at myself and saying, well, who taught you about money? Right. And then like I'm running payroll services. I have quarterly taxes. I'm responsible for taking care of families and making sure that they get their checks on time. I'm, reaching out to my clients and doing accounts payable, accounts receivable. And I'm like, oh, this is a lot. Let alone trying to like build myself up and get my credit together. And like I said earlier, like in 2010, I went homeless. So it was like a whole lot was happening, and my cleaning service is what got me out of that. But in the midst of that, I was able to help other people, and I wanted to, but I just couldn't find good people. So I was like, you know what? I give up on these adults. I'm done. I'm not going to say I don't care about you, but I'm done. Like, I'm going to go where the kids, where at least they innocent and they don't know no better. And if you guide them, they'll listen. And if a few,
more coachable.
Coachable is important. But even if they like slip through the tracks, at least you gave them something. And again, in between all of that, I had to figure out whether or not I got financial literacy or it was something that I missed. Because when you're a child, you growing up, you in class, you ain't paying attention.
No, absolutely not.
You're not paying attention. You don't realize that the things that you are learning in school from kindergarten to 12th grade are really going to help you become a better adult or a productive citizen. We don't realize that. Like nobody can tell you that. You can't. You have to grow old and mature to really understand that. So pretty much the babies was where it was for me. I'm like, I want to see if I can help them out, but let's go back to yourself and where you are, like how'd you learn these things? And I had coaching, I had mentors, I had algebra lessons. Like I put a lot of time and effort to get myself through college so I could understand business, finance, and accounting. And even with doing that it makes sense to me. And then when it start coming to me in a sales perspective, the numbers and the math start coming to me in sales and sales, SALES. And I start thinking algebra and units. I was like, oh.
Isn't that what makes sense?
That would make perfect sense.
Yeah, exactly. Man, they would have told I'd be rich by now. Exactly. They would have just told me what algebra was for, right? Yep. If I could get X amount of units to get X amount of dollars over X amount of time, I would have been like, oh, this is how we get rich. And so after understanding like operational sales, ROIs, and taxes and planning, and when people ask you what's the budget, like do you have a budget? Before I was like, oh no, I'm broke. Like no, there is no budget.
Zero budget?
Like there was no budget. So it's like now that I understand budgeting and in the sense of like personal personal projections to business projections. I'm like, okay, you just got to put the budget together so you know what it costs, and then you go out there and get the money that you need so that you can be successful. And so like now that's what I'm teaching kids. And they get it, like down to the algebra. The kids, you go in there, you ask them, are you bored? Yes. Do you feel like you need this information that you're getting in school? No. Okay, let me show you why you need this. And how everything plays and up to now, right. And especially when it comes to math. So
just make it make sense for the kids.
Yeah. So like,
how hard is that to do? Because just trying to make anything make sense for a child seems like an endeavor. So what does that entail? So do you have to get on their level? Do you have to talk to them on their level?
I tell them my story. One thing with students and anybody, like, you have to break the ice, right? So with students as well, you have to let them know, like, I'm just like you. I was a kid a few years ago, and I was just like you, and there was some blind spots that I didn't understand, and I'm coming, like, from the future to tell you so you don't have to get it in the past. And this is what I'm giving you some gems. So when you break it down to them, use a little, some professional language and financial jargon, and then you break down a little slang. They like, oh, you're cool, like, exactly. All right.
Oh, we get it.
So it's like our kids need it every which way because they get bored. And that, like you said earlier, you spoke about attention span. Like I'm kind of like scaring them. I'm like, your credit gonna be bad. You're gonna be bankrupt.
they need to be scared.
I'm like, yeah, you're gonna you're gonna go homeless. Yeah. Like this is what's gonna happen to you.
Somebody should do that.
Yeah, and then like one young man, he's like, I want to start a trucking company, and I was like, do you know anything about it? He was like, no. I said, you're gonna go bankrupt, and your wife's gonna divorce you. She's gonna leave you. Like this is what.
Crystal,
it's like,
how old was this kid?
They're like 17, 18.
There you go.
Okay. I'm gonna scare you. And then if you don't plan well, you'll have child support for 18 years. Like this is the way it could go for you.
They are at the age where you got to be real with them.
It's true.
You'll be working for somebody for 18 years and not getting a dime, and you'll regret it.
Yeah. So now, if I had somebody come in and tell me that in my senior year, junior year in high school, my path would have probably been way different than what it was.
Yeah.
But everybody always made it seem like, oh, you're going to do great. You're going to do great. Lies. Mm-hmm. Lies. You get out of school at 18 and they tell you you're an adult and you are just lost and confused. Mm-hmm. All you know is my mom said go to college. That's it.
Yeah. Go to college.
Go to college. For what? I don't even know what I want to do. I'm 18. I have no idea what I want to be for the rest of my life.
Right. Yep. There's no direction. It's just go to college.
Yes.
Figure it out. And that's not the answer. That's not always the answer. It's not usually
comes
the
from
answer.
I think it has a lot to do with the schooling, educational system, and parenting and community.
Yes.
Right. So it's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, Money Talks Edu. What we do is make financial literacy accessible to inner city youths and underserved communities. And we created a curriculum, and we are implementing the curriculum right now in New York. We're paid by the New York Department of Education. And we're working with Crystal Ray Philadelphia High School, and it's like one of the best schools in Philadelphia. They have 35 schools across the country. It is a Catholic school, and
I know it well.
Shout out to the president, Mr. McConnell, and his team over there. Like I met them New Year, and just I pitched, they loved it, came in, and now we're working with them. So It's amazing that we get to work with these seniors and give them the gems that they need for their life skills so that they can go out here and be successful and come out with a real game plan to be financially free, secure, and be successful. So that's the goal, is to make sure that the next generation they better than us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna end this segment right here.
Yep. She coming back though, y'all. She coming back. We got more to talk about.
She's coming back.
Yeah.
But the next segment we're gonna talk about is bad business, aka what me and Tiff like to call ninja business.
Ninja business. I got some ninja business for you.
Yes.
Yeah, we all got it in us.
So we'll be right back, folks.